And we have a quorum, so let's just go.
Let's roll.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
all
roll.
right. Let me get the agenda up.
Okay.
That's the ID. I guess that's the agenda as well. Okay. So I can report, Lois and I both, and Leah can report on the winter sows, which were really well attended. I think we had over 100 at Vero
Nice.
Farm. I had a dozen at COA, and we've canceled the Housing Authority.
Yep.
The Fowler Library had Lady Farm come, and there must have been 20 people there for that. And then they've done 2 more, and they're doing another on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. It's a drop-in winter sow, 2 to 4:30 at Fowler.
Cool.
So that's all I know there. Now you have the Middlesex Conservation District. They did do a winter sow, and they had 30 people. Freddie Gillespie charged them $200 or $300 to show up, and they
Yeah.
provided all the supplies. No, the Middlesex Conservation provided the supplies.
Yeah.
And I'm working with them now, and there's going to be a native plants sale May 2nd, I think. I'll have to
Okay.
double check. I'm supposed to be doing descriptions of plants, which is not my forte, but I will do what I can.
Yeah.
And then Leah and I worked with Ellie on the pollinator pathway. And so that's actually, Ellie went back to college, but she still wants to run it. So I need to be in touch with her to see if we should send out the application. And oh geez, let me see if I can find
Okay.
what the application is. Well, let me go get the flyer. That's easier. Hold on.
Okay, sure.
Mark, have you heard from any of the other people?
About tonight?
Yeah. Or
No.
just just
that's
just
Stan.
if they're alive since the last time we got together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is the flyer, and you can put your phone up to the QR code, and that'll then you can answer the questions.
See if we can do it.
Is it big enough to work?
No, but you know what? We can probably get that flyer on the web, I'm betting.
Oh, sorry, don't have my ears in.
Oh.
Okay, could you do it?
I just tried it. It wasn't quite. Well, let me try making it bigger here. Let's see.
Oh, there's a little glare that might be
Oh, hi,
messing up.
Steve. Yeah.
Ooh,
Hi, Steve.
there we go.
Hey,
Able to
Steve.
do it?
Well, no, not yet.
Let's see.
No, I think it's still a little bit too fuzzy because it won't.
Okay, let me see if
My
I can
phone
find
doesn't
it
recognize it as a QR
in my
code. Yeah.
emails.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, just email it a pointer to it. That'll be
Yeah,
great.
I'll email it out.
Okay. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Good, good.
Thank you so very, very much for a wonderful workshop. It was
Oh.
such a success.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, Steve, you're
I-
muted.
And your crew is so nice.
Yeah.
So thank you, Steve. We
There
can
you
hear
got
you
it.
now. Yeah,
You hear me now?
sure
Yep.
can.
Yep.
So the winter sows were really successful, and as I was saying, Fowler is continuing to do them. And I'm doing one at St. Anne's in the Field in March. They had to move the date because of the snow.
Mhm.
So it got rescheduled.
Good.
Oh, good, I'm glad it worked out well.
Yeah, it really did. So I will be in touch with Ellie to find out where the town stands with our GIS. And she was going to check with them to see how they wanted to manage our questions, which are based on what I handed out at Ag Day for pollinator habitat.
Okay.
If they want to list them or if they just want to have a dot on the map.
Okay.
But she had already mapped the town ones, and Janet Anderson set up this with Laura Mills, set up the QR code to go right into a spreadsheet, so then it could go right into the GIS.
Okay.
Yeah, and part of signing up is giving permission to be on the map.
Okay.
So that becomes official. So yeah,
That's good.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean it's me?
You started to say something, so I thought maybe.
Oh, just I'm sorry. I was just making a parenthetical comment that I think mapping where these pollinator gardens are is very valuable. You know, just
We're not documenting what they have there, but that they are committed to making a positive habitat.
yeah. I think that's very good first step. I mean, if not, I mean that's just some wild bee is going to be able to make it from one to the next. That's the main goal.
Yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah.
So you drafted a letter to Fish and Wildlife.
I have apologized. I have been remiss. I need to send it to the Fish and Wildlife guy. He's going to help me edit it. He's
I see.
he's offered to, because it's not Fish and Wildlife. I think it'll be the DEP, Department of Environmental Protection. But I spoke to this fellow. He works out at that facility, that they have. And I think it's Westboro. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's the one west of Marlboro on just off,
Westboro, yeah.
yeah, Westboro Route 9. I think it's just off of that. It's a beautiful building. It's worth going to see just because it's so incredibly well done as a facility. Anyway, I'll work with him. And
And then we will
drafted a
review it.
letter. I've drafted a letter to show him to get his thoughts. Once I've gotten his sort of feeling that this might be about the right way to do it, then I'll come back to you guys and we can talk about, is this what we want to say? I mean, it's basically, the letter is something like, what can we do to help reduce the impact of pesticides on pollinators? And the particular issue is, the proximity of the golf course to the Sudbury River, and the potential for damaging pollinators along that corridor, that area.
No, I was thinking a little about that, the seed treatments seem to be one of the more widely talked about issues.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
that's good insurance for crops if you have a spring with long, cool, wet weather that encourages the soil uh, uh, organisms to get active on the seeds that are slow germinating. And
yep,
it's kind of like an insurance policy. And if you think about it, I don't think any of you have had a house burned down in the last 10 years. But if I said drop your insurance next year, I think you'd hesitate to do that. And it's a little bit on that idea. But also, I was looking and there's a newer seed treatment out, which is not newly discovered, but it's just coming into use, I guess.
uh-huh,
Farmore, Farmore.
The
okay,
And
town's
Say it,
using that.
say it again? What is it?
Farmore, Farmore.
Oh,
And that's available in a number of different seed catalogs, including Harris, which is one of the major
Mhm.
ones farmers use.
okay.
It's an option with different ones, but that is in there and it has a pretty good rating in terms of bee health.
Ah. So it doesn't contain anything with the neonic in it?
Apparently not. I was
Good,
looking for the ingredients and I couldn't find the ingredients, but there's some stuff,
yeah,
gels that give it a good rating with bees.
that's good. Because that would really help.
Yeah, and be good for other farmers to,
Yeah,
they're not aware of that, for them to hear about it.
yeah, Syngenta makes it according to this website I'm looking at.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
News.
It says down here that it is not very toxic to animals, but extremely toxic to insects. Repeated plantings of treated seeds, particularly when the seed is overtreated. So I don't know.
Okay.
Well, that's great to hear what's going on and what, you know,
Research it
how the-
some more, 'cause- research it some more, because it is in the catalogs now, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw studies that showed that it wasn't especially harmful to bees,
yep,
but I've been looking online just like you are.
yeah, it's 3 different fungicides. But it also is an insecticide. So I'll learn more. I'll put it out there and learn more about it. That'd be great.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, I
But
know
don't-
it,
don't drop your fire insurance though next year.
yeah. The insurance is a good analogy. I totally get that. Totally do get that. Yeah.
yeah, there is one, I think there is something called Cruiser 5 FS. And I think it may be a neonic containing, because Bayer, let's see.
Oh, well, let's research it on our own and come back
Yeah,
with
let's do that.
real
This is
thoughts
promising.
on it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this, what I'm looking at maybe says that it doesn't contain that. So we'll look at, I think that's great, Steve.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve.
So Steve, have you been in touch with Cam? The fellow from Hutchins Farm who's supposed to be on this committee?
I haven't discussed the committee with him especially.
Okay. Because
Uh,
haven't heard hide nor hair from him, and I don't know whether we should push to get him to be involved or not?
Okay, well, we have a meeting Thursday. We bring it up.
All right, we're
Talking
delighted to have
about
you,
Brian?
for sure. So I'm not saying leave, but you had said you wanted to leave, so I don't want to be left
Yeah.
hanging.
Yeah, we'd miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I spoke with Brian Kramer, but he says he doesn't have time right now for it. If that's the person you mean.
That's the one
Yes.
from Hutchins.
Yeah. Ah,
Okay. So what's up next, mister?
well, let's see. I think we're on to new business because that third item on the old business was that letter. We've got more work to do on that. I've got more work to, well, I'll get you guys more involved in this thing. I've drafted something and I'll send it out and we can work on that.
Okay. I
Uh,
do think for old business, our charter,
oh, yes,
um,
you mentioned that. Yes, I thought your idea was spot on.
so
Just,
what I think is, I'd be happy to work with one other person. We clean up the charter and present it next time.
sounds
Um,
good.
So I don't know who wants to work on that with me, but I don't want to be a sole person.
I could help out a little bit.
And I can do
Well-
research. I can do research if you want to just,
No, I want to just write it, get it done, get it over with. It's way overdue and we
Yeah.
won't exist if we don't have a charter. So,
And I'd be
And
happy to
I-
read it. Like I could type if you know I could help like type it up if we all met as a group or
well, that's a good
if you
thought.
wanted to
Yeah,
meet library or something.
exactly. We could meet at Fowler. I'm around next week and then I'm gone for a week and a half. And I'm around this week. Do you have any times at noon that you're free, Mark?
Pretty much any day. That's one of the joys of retirement. Let's see. Uh, maybe, how about we shoot for next week sometime?
Well,
Maybe,
as
except,
President's Day, everything's
pardon?
closed. But
Yep.
we could meet at a restaurant.
Well, or we could wait till Tuesday. Monday's the 17th, that's President's Day?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone for this week, like this Friday, I could be available.
Oh, I can't, well, I've got a 2 o'clock meeting and I have to be in town in Cambridge.
That's fine with me. Okay, so next week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Sure. Either day is fine with me.
So Tuesday. I don't know. My calendar's a little weird here. I'm free Tuesday morning up until 1 o'clock. Or 12:30, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Anytime Tuesday after 10 o'clock is fine with me.
How's your schedule, Leah?
I think I can do Tuesday. I'm waiting to hear about a site visit I have to do for work.
Yeah.
So a little up in the air for me. That's either happening Tuesday or Wednesday. No one's confirmed yet. So.
So how about Thursday?
Thursday works.
Thursday at
Tuesday the
noon?
20th?
Yes.
Yep, that's fine with me.
Okay, let's plan to meet at Fowler at noon,
Noon on Thursday?
noon on
Okay.
the 20th. Yep.
Yep.
20. Okay.
The 20th.
20th of February, right? Yeah, Thursday the
Yep.
20th.
Not, all right.
Okay. I think, let me check with the town. I'm not sure if we have to publish this as a public meeting.
No, I think this is a work meeting.
Yeah, and as long as,
This is just a deliberation of, we're not making a decision. We're just doing a work meeting.
yeah, we're making a draft. Good, let's
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine.
I just took all of those module tests on everything.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. So we'll meet at Fowler Library?
Yep.
Okay,
Look at
good.
my calendar.
Nice. Yeah, I've got so many draft versions of the charge that I'm almost confused as to which makes sense. So we might just want to start with a clean slate.
Well, bring whatever you want, okay?
Yeah, I'll bring what I've got. We might be able to cut and paste some of the stuff.
All right. And then for the signs for the pollinator pathway are in my sunroom. I've got to get them to my basement so I can get some room back.
Okay,
I'm gonna sell them for $5. And
sounds
we
good.
could, since it's my own money and my own project, I
Yeah,
think I can sell them at Earth Day.
yep.
And I don't know, Earth Day is also, it's Easter and it's Patriots Week. So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what the town's doing about Earth Day. And I'm wondering if we should move it out to Pollinator Week, which I think is in June. I'm not
Yep.
sure.
Yes.
Do you have a
That's
dates
an
for
interesting
that?
point. I think that's a good idea. We might want to do something on Pollinator Week, even if the town does something on Earth Day that we also join in on.
So that's June 16th to the 22nd.
Okay,
Do we want to ask the select board for what are those, whatever they, I forget what they call it, but like acknowledgement for pollinator week?
yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Yeah,
know
think
that Fowler is gonna, I think for Arbor Day, is gonna see if they can give away serviceberry plants. So there's also Arbor Day, which I think is,
Before,
yeah, it's in April.
Okay,
isn't it June?
Arbor Day, the 25th of April.
Oh,
okay.
So,
Geez, in that case, you know what I should do? I will take a bunch of willow that I have, the really nice Salix discolor, and I'll chop up the branches and stick them in dirt, and we can give those away too.
okay,
They should, if I do that, as soon as the ground's workable next month, maybe about a month from now, maybe even less, that can get them started. They'll probably have already put out a few roots into the soil that they'll be in.
great. Okay. Do you need pots or anything?
I've got so many pots I need to get rid of. This is part of the reason I
Great.
want to do it.
Good.
I've got a whole
Sounds
garbage
perfect.
can full of densely packed pots. Ugh.
Okay.
Anybody need a snow?
Uh,
I've got 3 of those to give away too.
what do you have?
Sleds, for snow. The little kind with metal
Oh,
runners, that we used to,
oh, no.
I had when I was a kid, that kind
oh
of
my
old
God.
sled. They're beautiful. Yep, a
Well,
3
put
footer,
it
a
on
4
buy
footer, a
nothing.
5
People
footer.
will
Right?
take it. Put
Lisa
it
will
on
take,
buy nothing.
yeah. I'm working at lightening the load here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds familiar.
yeah, good. This looks like a good series of days coming up. So we're kind of talking a little bit about Earth Day preparations at the same time we're doing this. Is there anything special we need to do for Earth Day? Besides what we've discussed?
Um,
Of course, this is the question of when is it
well, I
going to be?
think we have to find out if there is an Earth Day. I mean, there's a
Okay.
bunch of, and, if not, should we go with Arbor Day or should we go with Pollinator Week?
I sort of have the feeling that we should try to be present at all of those. In other words, maybe it's just a couple of us at a table. Maybe, for example, at Earth Day, if they have Earth Day and a lot of kids come to Earth Day, I think the ideas that I've heard us talk about that support children, like the things that Lois and you guys have done, I think that's a great thing to do because the sooner kids get an understanding of ecology, the better, because it's such a
Mhm.
crucial issue these days. And that's in terms of investments. I mean, that's got the best payoff, because they've got so much more life to live than I do, for example.
Yeah.
So, I think that's good to do. And on the other hand, something like Arbor Day, where people might not be a big draw for kids, but on the other hand, if people are interested in doing something about trees or shrubbery to help the world, and we can hand them, a bunch of serviceberry and whatever we got, divisions of
Yeah.
plants that those, some of those plants we give away will actually survive and be growing in a place that they weren't growing before.
Right.
And
Right.
and those are both two good opportunities for teaching people about how to create a good pollinator habitat. And somebody just asked me the other day, well, what can you do for bees? Where do bees go in the wintertime? That's a big topic, leaving the
No,
leaves.
most of them die off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but they have to leave their babies somewhere.
Well,
There's a,
Yeah, I mean, the potential for the babies.
yeah. I think the honeybees are the only ones that keep going during the winter with making their own babies, but wild bees, the babies, basically the queen's got the babies for the next year all set to go, with fertilized eggs when she needs to fertilize them.
Okay, well, how do those queens that come out those great big ones that come out in
Yeah,
the spring, do they
yeah,
winter over or are they?
yeah.
Mhm.
They winter over
Yes,
under the
that's-
ground
Yeah,
or in leaves or wherever they can get cover. Yeah.
right. So, I mean, it's not like they all die in the fall and just leave babies.
No,
Those
no, they
giant
don't.
ones. I couldn't believe how big they are.
I know. The queens are the biggest of them all.
Yeah, but those ones that
It's
come out in the spring, they're huge.
Yeah, and those early spring bumblebees always look a little more uh to me they look a little scarier because they've got these wonderful black wings, I mean normal
Ah,
bee wings are sort of clear, but those early queens they look tough as nails, I gotta say. The Darth Vaders of bees. Well, this I think so we'll plan to revisit the charter next week, Thursday, the 20th, and then we'll be ready to maybe we'll run it past the
Yeah.
select board and vote on it ourselves. And does that make sense?
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I do think we need to divide up the Earth Day, Arbor Day, Pollinator Week. I think
Okay. Yeah,
that we need people to take charge of investigating that.
that's a good
Um,
point. Any
I
volunteer?
will find out what Fowler's doing. Take the easy
Okay.
one.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Lois, you're in touch with First Parish. They do things for Earth Day, don't they?
Yep.
So why don't you find out from them
okay.
what is their plan for spring pollination or sustainability? And Mark, I don't know who's your resource.
It's a good question.
And Leah, do you have a resource, a connection anywhere?
No, I don't know anyone. You guys are as close as I get to what's going on. But I can, I mean, if I'm happy to reach out if there's someone
Yeah,
like
I'm wondering if you could
committee or-
contact the town clerk and find out if what the town plan is.
Yeah, I can reach
Because
oh, that's
I
a good
mean,
idea.
she
Yeah,
she
that's
should be
really
on
good.
top of Patriots Day stuff.
Sure, I can reach out tomorrow.
Okay, and
Great idea.
Mark, who do you connect with?
I suppose, let me see, who could I connect with? I know a few people in various garden clubs, like the garden club, Concord Garden Club sponsored, donated money toward what you've been working on toward that garden at, Harrington Park years ago.
Yeah, that was
I
like
could certainly reach
15
out to
years
them.
ago.
Yeah. And,
I don't think they do anything for native plants. They're much.
well, this might be an opportunity to sort of get them more involved in that.
Okay,
And I would also be glad to sort of ping the main library and see what's cooking there.
well, that's probably a good idea because I mean it's all under the Concord Free Public Library Sustainability Committee. And they all
Yeah.
work together. It's just that I have better communication with Fowler.
And I've
And-
seen more activity from Fowler too. Yeah.
But if you want to hit because the chairperson is at the main library, so it wouldn't
Oh.
hurt to.
Who's the chair there?
I don't know. They have a green newsletter that comes out occasionally, and why
Oh,
don't you,
perfect.
yeah, just dig around with them.
Sounds good.
They know I exist, so I don't want to
Yeah.
mess it up. So that would be good.
Okay.
So you've got
Um,
main library, Leah, you've got the clerk, I've got Fowler, and you've got First Parish. You can think of anybody else, Steve, that we might learn something from?
I know we talk about it Thursday.
I was to say,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Find out what ag committee's doing.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's good.
Great.
If anybody knows anything, how that's gonna go. Oh, and Mark, are you also gonna go to the garden club?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the two.
Yep.
That'd be great.
and you do that the green people. And
Yeah,
Yes.
the green thumbs don't really do anything when it
Okay.
comes to. Though
Oh,
I did have one green thumb show up for my lecture on planting small native plant gardens. So
nice.
that was nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry.
Let's see. I guess that's it. We could maybe, we know we've got those sort of three dates then that we're sort of talking about, or three activities. One is, see if I can recite them. One is Pollinator Week, something going on during that, Arbor Day, and then Earth Day.
Mhm.
Okay.
what's the date around the official Earth Day is what date?
I
Well,
think
that's
it's
one
the
thing we're going to try to
22nd.
find out. We don't know.
But no, I meant like the national,
Oh, Earth Day?
yeah,
That's a good
Mhm.
question. It's in April. I thought it was April 22nd was Earth Day.
oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
what
I think
April
one of our
22nd.
grandchildren was
Yep.
born on April 22nd, and it was Earth Day.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Yep.
just to, usually they try to get it sorted near there. That's, and
Yeah.
so you want me to do children's stuff? Is that, I don't know, Isabel had the idea and I did the cutouts.
I
So,
think it's
last year-
I think the more we can do with kids, the better.
Yeah.
Because we get children involved, we necessarily will get their parents involved. And I think that's all for the good. Even if just one family says, okay, I guess we'll skip the grub treatment with neonics on our yard this year, we've made a tremendous amount of progress.
But I just found out, I didn't realize like the tick collars,
Yep.
those have neonics in them. I didn't know that until
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
It's
Like, ooh,
it's nasty enough that the tick dies when it sucks the blood. And you gotta believe it's
how do they dispose of those collars then? Does anyone know?
Or landfill.
yeah. I
Oh,
hate to say it, I think Leah's right.
wow.
But I mean, that is sort of the best, you know, it's contained. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
There are more places than I thought they were. Like that was a surprise because I don't have any pets or stuff, so
yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah. I
Thank
don't know
you.
if that's the case now so much. I know that almost all the over-the-counter neonics have disappeared. And
But but that's just for what is it?
Yeah.
Home lawn, basically home lawn treatments.
yeah,
There's
which is
neonics like other places.
yeah, and that's certainly the big one. I mean, for pollinators, tick collars are not a problem, but for I told you about that time I saw that bottle of something. It was called a rose bush treatment with neonics in it, and you put
No.
enough on that it's basically the same amount. It's the same amount as would go on a whole acre of the
Yeah,
old-fashioned corn seed treatment. Is the same as this one rose bush. I mean,
wow.
it's incredible.
That's like those home things. That was like the amounts were crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then people
Luckily, that's
tend to
gone
put
now.
more.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's right. The package says use a quart or something. You say, well, I'll use the whole bottle, all 128 ounces. Oh dear.
And then you've got people that, are trying to survive their farm and their crops and use
Yeah.
minimal and
Yeah.
somebody dumps a whole mess. Not good.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
back in the days of the woolly critter going after the hemlocks, I had a row of them down back of the house here, some young ones I transplanted from Maine. I don't know, there were probably at least 10 of them, and there's some signs the critter was coming in and starting on them, so I went down and got a bag of treatments specifically for the woolly on the hemlocks.
Yeah.
I was going to treat them all, and when I started doing it, I read the directions on the bag, and that was just enough for one tree. So I treated that tree, and that's the only one that's left now.
Oh,
Oh, gee.
wow.
And I don't know whether that stuff's still in the tree or not, but I think you did some too, didn't you, Mark? How'd you make out?
Well, we in Cananum, we have a little stand of hemlocks in the common land, and they were treated with neonics back in
A while ago.
quite a while ago now, yeah. And then of course once we figured out it was as toxic as it is, we ceased to treat it. I haven't been in to see if that grove still exists, but I do know that around my house here, the hemlocks that are doing okay are the ones that are alone, not next to a whole bunch of other hemlocks. They seem to be surviving okay. I've got one big, beautiful hemlock that's actually, for my feelings, starting to get too big. I mean, I planted all these myself when we bought the house. That's down along the valley road in front of our place, but it's taller than the telephone pole now, and it's about as broad. But we've had a little bit of it on a couple of them that are next to our driveway, but I don't know, it's it's like when we lived in Stowe, there was a spring. We used to get this big invasion of gypsy moth in the spring. And they would eat everything in sight. The spring would come out and all the maples would lose their leaves. And then they would go after the oaks. And when they got done with the oaks and the maples, I mean, basically our property was only at that point white pine. It was a couple acres. And they started chewing on the white pine needles. They were so desperate. And so the whole place was stripped. And then I noticed that one day I had a caterpillar of this moth, and I squished it. And of course, because I loved it so much I couldn't do anything but squish it. And its innards were not green but brown. And then I found out that that's actually a sickness that it got because there were too many of them. And then we never saw them again. They basically killed themselves off. And of course, everything else leafed out after they went away.
Right.
Well,
Okay,
I should probably stop. This has been entertaining.
Well, I do think that we might want to, part of the charter that passed was to have a presentation for the community.
Yes,
So, if we could think of somebody and then ask for funds to support somebody to do it, I think
that's a
that
good idea.
would be important. And I think maybe even just asking Wilson Kerr to do another talk.
Yep.
I think if he did a talk for at the library,
Yeah,
at the main library, so that it was better attended.
yeah.
I
A
think
little
that
broader
might be,
audience. Yeah,
well, I think really talking about pesticides and spraying and such. His talk that he did for Concord Can was superb.
yes,
And do that so that it's a broader audience that doesn't have to get up at 7:30 in the morning.
yep.
Um,
I think that's a really good idea.
yeah, he's very, what do you call it? He really grabs an audience.
Yeah, he's very motivational.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
So when you're checking with the library about Earth Day, Arbor Day, etc., why don't you ask them about, are they open to having someone like Wilson Kerr speak?
Okay,
And maybe from our committee, once you have the okay that they're open to it, then asking him if he would do it.
yep,
Because I think this
idea.
is a good time as people are signing up for their lawn services.
Yes.
So is that asking too much?
No,
Okay.
I think it's appropriate. Timing is a big
And
important
if
thing
we
here.
aim for Pollinator Week, that would be perfect. And also ask the library what they're aiming for Pollinator Week.
Yeah,
And tell them we'd go in with them on, having someone like Wilson.
okay,
Who,
And if you need
Was
any
that-
backup, let me know.
there
okay.
was several years ago, we did that thing with the land trust and a whole bunch of other people at the library.
Yes, that's right.
That seemed like a really good night, and it's got together like a diverse kind of group of people.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
know Gene from the land trust. We could certainly,
Were they the ones
That's-
who ran it?
No, the library ran it.
okay,
They
Yeah,
hosted
it was, they hosted it and then invited all of the players for conservation.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
So let's have a repeat.
okay, good idea. That was Dr. Jaguar that came and talked that night, wasn't it?
Could be. I think
I think so.
I wasn't there. I think I was sick.
Yeah, I think he came in. But that room, that big room they had was full, and then we had a whole bunch of tables at the back where we
Yeah.
handed out
The Goodwin Forum was full.
we
yeah.
handed out plants, among other things.
Good. Okay.
I like this. This is looks to me like it's been a very productive meeting.